Radio Home.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Yeah. But that doesn't take away from the potency or the importance of this conversation. And we wanted to get into it again. And things have happened beyond or after that would then point us to want to move this forward. We're going to get into that in just a little bit, and I'll explain why I've said that. But before we do, Dennis wants to welcome you with today's proverb, and we'd love to get your interpretation of it.
The proverb today is from the continent, Africans saying amazing things, So, a tree of patience has bitter roots, but its fruit is sweet. How would you interpret it?
Better the end of a matter than the beginning thereof.
Proverb versus proverb.
Yep.
Solution.
It simply means when any idea, the rooting of any idea is painful. But the shooting of it, when the fruit is there, do you realize the fruit is always sweet? So better the end of a matter than the beginning thereof.
Yeah, absolutely. Better the end of the matter than the beginning thereof. This is true.
Yeah.
So, since you came last time, we started to have this conversation around what technology can actually do for rooting authenticity and integrity in electoral processes. We have had a by-election.
Right.
And perhaps the reasoning around why this should happen was fully exemplified in those elections, because people felt the need to protect their vote. And so people sat at polling stations, people slept at polling stations, people were injured at polling stations, people lived in constituencies that are not their homes, people were then injured, some people were killed, things were burnt down, property was destroyed, because people wanted to protect their vote. And why I'm saying this is that if we looked into maybe the direction that you were thinking of, then perhaps all of the things that we saw happening would not have happened. Please explain to people why I'm saying what I'm saying, John.
My sister, thank you very much. Again, it's always a privilege to be here, and we don't take it for granted because of the opportunity to speak to our people. Social media, or rather media, either social, radio, TV, or any form of media, gives us and accredits us the opportunity to be able to reach far and wide within a short period of time. So thank you for the work you're doing. Now, I would really want us to, because I know we have a few minutes, I would request us to really take this matter very seriously. The reason is because this is an issue of life and death. And we all know where 2007 shifted our country to. Let's not even go there. Look at our neighboring nation of Tanzania. All these things can be avoided. Like literally what we're about to speak about today has nothing to do with which tribe you come from. It has nothing to do with what your political ambitions are. We do not care about that. Let's put that on the side. And let's deal with this issue from a point of any life matters. It's very important. Now, looking at it from that point of view, why am I saying that? I always, because you have given me an opportunity, I always like using the scriptures because, again, we have tended to isolate the Bible to a point of it's just applicable on Sunday. But the Bible is a daily guide. If you will look for how to build kings, it's in the Bible. Marriage is in the Bible. Communities are in the Bible. Think about anything you can think of. The scriptures will always have an answer to them. The book of James chapter 4 verse 17 says, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, that is considered a sin. I repeat, if you know the good you ought to do and you don't do it, that is considered a sin. I'm saying that in view of the fact that we built a system around an electoral system, a voting system, very solid system. And thank God a few weeks ago we managed to meet the head of the IEBC, Erastus, the chair of IEBC, the deputy of IEBC, I mean the whole commissioners, all the people the stakeholders within that system. They gave us an opportunity. Here in Nairobi, we sat down in a meeting, gave us an opportunity to, thank you very much, gave us an opportunity to express what this is about. And so the chair was seated there, the whole system, all the people representatives were seated there, and we showed practically what we had built. We built a system looking at simple points. Number one, Previously, IEBC was spending approximately 2,000 shillings per person per vote. Drum rolls, my sister, drum rolls. Guess what we are spending? 36 bob.
36.
36 shillings.
A difference of 1,972 shillings. 74 shillings.
Yes.
Right.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Second catch about this thing. It's impossible. And again, because we speak to, the problem again, maybe our generation or maybe your generation, people reasoned a bit.
Yeah.
Allow me to use those words. We didn't just say things because we want to say. Our generation, unfortunately, someone because they have internet, they just think they can just write something. Oh, it can be hacked. Keep quiet and listen when we are speaking. We have knowledge of what we are saying. If you go to a doctor and you are sick, you keep quiet and you listen to the doctor. Let's not just be waking up and speaking things without, having understanding of them. We built a blockchain system, a voting system that is purely built on a blockchain platform. What does that mean? It's not possible to hack that system. It means that, number one, if first of all we have managed to reduce it from 2,000 to 36 shillings, imagine how much money we are bringing back to the nation to do other things like education and stuff. Secondly, the system cannot be hacked. It means the surety of the voter, the votes will be as the votes were. 3, the voter turnout will be there. Like today, I think we are dealing with something called voter what?
Apathy.
Voter apathy. The reason why people are not coming out to vote is because they know eventually their vote will not necessarily count. I mean, what's the point of me traveling? My vote was in somewhere in Ukambani. What's the point of me traveling all the way to Ukambani only for me to realize my vote did not matter? So 3, the vote apathy will go up. Number 4, the voter turnout in terms of the fact that diaspora votes. You can imagine if a tallying station is here, look at it from US, it's almost like Africa. And then I live in South Africa. How far would I need to travel to come to Kenya, for example, for me to? So diaspora votes will increase. I want you to look at all those benefits. Number 5, it assures that there is no death in the nation. Why? Because it's clear. I mean, if you voted, you are able to go there because we've built it on what you call a decentralized platform.
Right.
You are able to go there and verify your vote. My name is John CW. This is my vote. This is my vote number. This is the time I voted. That's the 4th thing. The 5th one or the 6th one. You see the way votes coming today and then you take 3 days to tally.
Yes.
I mean, to count the votes. The same time the vote ends, for example, the system sets a period of time, the vote begins at 6 a.m. and the vote ends at 5 p.m. Immediately the vote, the time for the vote ends. Immediately we know who are the winners. There is nothing like taking that. We don't need even the IEBC. He is only there to announce what we already, the process that we already know. So it creates all those opportunities, among many other things. And if we are not able to look at this thing from that point of view, let me give the last point of scripture. Ecclesiastes says there's a time and a season for everything. If you keep going down there, it says there is a time to build and a time to destroy. There is a time to accept and a time to reject. The season where we are in right now, we already know how 2027 is going to look. But because of tribalizing this thing, politicizing this thing, you are coming from this particular political party. We do not care your political party. We are dealing with lives here. And by the way, I need to say this. If we do not address this thing right now, my sister, we'll be having a problem in 2027. You think Tanzania has seen anything? Tanzanians are not fighters like Kenyans. Kenyans are going to fight for their vote. It's not the issue of who wins. Let my vote count, despite who won. So it's a very serious matter. We need to look at it from that point of view because we have an opportunity to do the right thing. And I repeat again to the leaders, do the right thing. You know, the last time we left here, what happened to us? I was given an offer.
To do what?
To do what?
I don't know if I should say it publicly.
Well, let's go. That's why we're here.
Situation room.
My sister, there is money outside here. We left here. We went. I've been called by members of parliament, and I'm saying it publicly with proof. I've been sent messages by senators with proof. We've been sent messages by top lawyers with proof. People come and say, we want to buy your project. Then you sit down and wonder. They give you a very nice value because you are young. And normally when you are young, most of us, the only thing we want is money. And then you sit and wonder, why would you give me 200 million?
Oh, wow.
Why?
Okay.
Why would you do it? We are not here to sell our project. We are just saying, yes, we understand there is a value add to it, but that's not the reason why we are doing what we are doing. And then you realize all of a sudden someone wants to buy. If you ask them the reason, they buy to kill it.
Oh, so they buy, to essentially to
the whole
put out
concept is
the fire.
to put out they buy it from you, you are no longer able to access it, then they kill the whole idea. You know why? Think about it this way. How many papers are being imported during voting? Cartels. Ink, just to ink the little finger. Cartel. Just think about the whole structure where we can reduce. Previously, we were looking at around 40-something billion. John Buddy, which I think I just met him on the corridor
he
here.
Just left here.
It has now pushed, in his view, to 61.7 billion. What we are saying is that, and by the way, the system that we are using, the first point of it is actually what's even taking a little bit of more money. As you keep going, the things that you bought are the same things you are going to be using. So the more we do more more election, when we come to an electioneering period, the amount of even what you are using reduces, unlike what we are having in Kenya, where the amount does what? Increases. We need to take this matter very seriously, because it might become a different trajectory for 2027. If we want to make sure that lives are not lost, I'm talking to the leaders, do the right thing.
We did see this, and there's a reason why it talks about the by-elections that took place. That if we didn't realize that the ruckus or the fracas that we saw in different polling stations was because of this thing, that there is a vote that has been cast that folks feel as though they need to protect. So that's why we saw members of parliament, governors, senators, the deputy president, cabinet secretaries going to polling stations, as well as ordinary, if we can say, as well as Kenyans, going to polling stations to protect the vote. So, John, what you're telling us then with this system is that there's no need for that.
There is no need for that.
There's a foolproof system whereby you cast your vote. You can actually do what Cabinet Secretary Murkomen said, where you can cast your vote and you can go home.
You can go home.
You don't need to be in this area. So if that's the case, and as you say, it makes sense, why wouldn't we want to embrace it?
After we met the IEBC chair, we pitched the whole idea. He embraced the idea. The second part of it was that we were supposed to be given an opportunity to table it before Parliament. So now that's what we're actually waiting for them to give us a date. And I challenge our parliamentarians, if you really have nothing to hide, give us a date to show you what we have. Just attempt it. And then for another reason, we've created something called a list of shame. The Article 81 of the Constitution, because again, young people, we don't just do things. We need to look at what the law says about it. Article 81 of the Constitution and Article 83 of the Constitution allows us to play around, gives an opportunity for what you call, it gives an opportunity for us to use technology around the voting system. Just go and read Article 81 of the Constitution and Article 83 of the Constitution. So we are not just speaking, haphazardly, just like we came from the streets. No, we understand what the Constitution gives, the leverage the Constitution gives towards us building systems that can be able to afford us those kind of realities. So when you look at it from that point of view, why would a whole sitting cabinet minister that's supposed to be serving the whole nation, what is his interest in a seat, in a member of parliament seat? I mean, you're not even supposed to be anywhere there. What is a deputy president literally doing? Think about how much money they spent. I actually heard that approximately, it was approximately 600 million. Now, let me ask you a question. Think about this with me. Either me, I have a problem, or our leaders have a problem. And we all know who has a problem. Why are you, if there's 600 million you're spending, right? This seat, how much money is this MP going to be paid per month? Approximately, is it 700,000 or whatever? Then look at
plus
15
allowances,
plus allowances.
Take a million.
Take a million, right? Okay, let's assume in 12 months, that's how much? That's 12 million, right? So in 5 years, how much is he looking at?
60.
Around 60 million approximately. Let's even be courteous enough and add another 10 million. So that's around 70 million. Why would you spend, business-wise, why would you be spending 600 million to get 70 million in return? I mean, the law of demand and supply, it already tells you that's not even something, you're already going at a loss. That means there is something they are going for. So the question would be, the amount of time you wasted going on the streets, if we had a blockchain system, something that is more secure, our members of parliament and our governors will be working. The amount of money you have used We would not need to use that because then it's cheaper. And by there, I need to say this. In Kenya, I did the statistics. Kenya is approximately top 3 most expensive nations to run an election. I mean, you need like 100 million to become a member of parliament.
Yes.
Now, they have even done 600 million. So I'm wondering, if a member of parliament is spending 600 million, how much are we looking about for you to be re-elected as a president? You get what I'm saying? How much money are you looking at? I'm even assuming it's beyond, because now they are already doing it on ground CG and they're hiding it in terms of empowerment.
And where does the money come from?
That's the question I'm looking at. And then number 2, you are going to spend this money on who? What would 600 million had done apart from electing a member of parliament? Of course, I know he goes to represent the interests of the people. But what would that 600 million have done? Assuming you brought that 600 million to that community. Let's build go-downs. I mean, let's build, what is this community? What do you do? We farm chickens, we farm what? Build a whole ecosystem around them. You'd have employed approximately 500-600 people rather than taking one person to parliament. It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, John, you just mentioned about 36 shillings, right? So that we are spending a vote. And if you just use 22 million registered voters, how much we'll be spending, that comes to 792 million shillings. If you talk about 2,300 shillings, assuming per vote, and if you multiply that by
22
million, you get to 50 billion 600 million.
Why would you spend... Look, so what is the reason why you deny our system? That means it's a whole cartel system. And by the way, it's not once. The first time I came out with this issue, I don't know if it's professional to say it online. I'll try to hide most important. I won't say the names. But the first time before I came here, I have a program called State of the Nation where I address every Thursday. As I'm leaving my office, my car gets shot at.
Shot at?
Yes. How do you explain it? After speaking about this thing, we came, I brought a whole group of people, we built a system. And by the way, we're going to show you practically because it's here, so I hope we'll be able. My car gets shot at. Then the question I would ask, what are we really hiding? Why would you spend 60 billion over something you can spend 2-3 billion or whatever, or 10 billion or 700 million? Let me ask you, what are you hiding? So that's why we built a list of shame. And as we present it, we'll be able to say anyone that does not take this system, we want the people that the member of parliament is representing to answer his people. Why would you prefer to use 61.7 billion? Oh, and I've already had someone asking a question. Let me say in the spirit. Which country? You know, that's what we like doing.
Has used
Which
it
country?
before.
Okay. Why should we wait for countries to use it? M-Pesa, which country had used it before? Which is the biggest money transfer system in the world? Where is it coming from? Who did we wait for? Why does Africa need to wait for anyone? Let me not even talk about Estonia. I'm not going to answer that question. Answer yourself. Africa needs to come out of this mentality of waiting for another nation to do it. We are not dumb people. Kenya has brains. We don't need to wait for you. It's like now I'm saying, I want to be married, but I want to wait for you first to be married.
Let me see how Dennis...
Let's see how you... It doesn't make sense. So it's time for us to embrace these realities. We can curb a lot of money laundering. We can curb a lot of debts. We can change the system. Because if you are able to vote, you are able to go and verify these votes came from here. Then we even make the work of the head of IBC chair irrelevant to that degree. It's just formal. But we already know by evening, this is the person. That's how we change our nation.
As you talk about this blockchain technology, the simple understanding of it is once a file has been keyed in, there is a duplicity and multi-million duplicity of these files that it cannot be hacked.
It cannot.
I don't know if this is the time that we just see how this system works.
For sure.
Just so that we understand what it is we're talking about. You know, what you showed our EBC, what it is you expect to present in Parliament, and what Kenyans perhaps, if agreed upon, would be interacting with. So,
sure, we'd love to look into that. I think maybe just important as we prepare to do that, because it's for us to see the practicability of it, is for the explanation as to why it cannot be hacked a little bit, clearer, John.
Okay.
That what is this process that you go through that will ensure that there will not be mice in the system, essentially, who are gobbling up.
I'm going to allow my friend to come on board shortly, but let me give it a layman's point of view.
Yes.
Now, I want you to look at this, my sister. This is a phone. Okay? And this one I'm actually saying to the people that argue without understanding.
Yeah.
This is a phone. Think about it as a block.
Yes.
This is one block. This is another block. And assuming this is another block.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's visible.
Yeah.
Now, if you connect blocks together, what do you form? A chain of
blocks.
Hence the word
Block chain. Yes.
So what does that mean? Let's say I do a transaction on this block here. If I transact from this one block, because of the chain that block, the chain of it, that transaction cannot be only stored on one block, which is one computer. The ripple effect of that reality goes to as many computers as you can think globally. Let's say 100,000 computers or 1 million computers. Any chain that block is found on, that ripple effect is replicated on that. Now, in order for you to change that reality, you will need to find all those computers. You need to find where that... The question I would like to ask you, is that even a possibility? Maybe it routed to China, 4,000 blocks. It routed to Russia, 1,000 blocks. For example, it routed to Kenya, 13,000 blocks.
Yeah.
So how is it possible unless you are Jesus?
But then can you change the original? Can
It's
you
not
change
possible.
the mother? Because it came from somewhere, didn't it? And that's what usually folks are going to fiddle with. The very first thing that went in is what people will change. These are the questions, John, folks are asking.
Good.
What if somebody would want to fiddle with the mother information?
Okay. Now, when I started speaking, I used a very specific word. Decentralized.
Yeah.
That's a very, very important word.
Yeah.
There is a difference between centralized system and a decentralized system. What does that mean? You have built this system. We have all agreed that this is a system.
Yes.
You place this system on that block network. Once you surrender the system there,
To the network?
there is no way anyone can tamper on that system.
Why?
I'll repeat again.
so
the
it's-
reason is because, and he's going to come in and add on this. This is a system. This is a block. We have put the system here. We have all agreed that this is a system we are using.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We put this system, it's now a blockchain. We have added it on the chain of everything that is existing on that block.
Yeah.
So if we want to change anything, because we've surrendered it there, if we want to change anything on that system, the ripple effect of everything that is hosted on that system, we have to find this one and this one. It's a whole block. It's like, you know the way you have a chain. You realize a chain is not just formed with
one loop.
With one loop.
Yeah.
So you need to find all those loops because it's existing in a block. It's existing in a blockchain, not a block.
Yeah.
It's a whole chain. So if you're going to change anything there, you need to find all those little loops. And it's not a possibility. This is why from 2008, blockchain cannot be hacked. Have you ever heard of that word? It cannot be hacked. Reason is because the security of that block is not existing by itself. It's a whole centralized system of chain, whereby if you want to change this, you have to find what it's connected to, and find what it's connected to. It's not a possibility.
John, let me get it. So as we talk about the system itself is the mother block, if one would say that.
Wonderful.
That means if any other information is keyed into the mother block, the ripple effect is the same as the original.
Is the same as the
block.
original mother block.
So that means for you to change these, you need to find 1 million plus blocks, and any information that you key in as well goes to other million
replicated
plus
to
blocks.
and that's where the security comes in. So, other than a centralized system where everything is stored on this computer. So if I can access this computer, I can change. But now in a blockchain system, nothing is stored on one.
Everything is stored everywhere.
Everything is decentral. Now do you understand the word?
Right.
Decentralized.
Okay. So it'd be good for us to take a look at how this works.
Okay.
To say that if, we were casting our votes in Kenya, and for the purposes of this discussion, I don't know who's going to be president, John and Dennis, I don't know. But you'll tell us how this works so we can have a look at it.
Right.
Because what we're talking about, and it's very interesting what you said, that, why do we have to wait for somebody else to have done it for us to see that it can work? We can actually be the pioneers. And that's the thing that we're all pushing for, especially for Africa, that we can be the pioneers of something and say, look, this thing works, solve problems for years to come.
Right.
Let's have a look, see what it looks like.
So this is my friend Jesse. Jesse, please take a shortest time possible and let Kenyans know.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to be doing a demonstration of the blockchain voting system. So what we have here is a video of the demonstration we actually did while we were presenting the system to the Electoral Commission, that is the IEBC, and other organizations on that day. So basically, the system is built to be able to facilitate each and every step of the election process, from from the registration process of both the candidates and also the registration of the voters. So we are going to I'm just going to play the video, and I'll just be running it a bit fast to be able to demonstrate the exact steps needed to be shown. So as you can see here, so I'm going to hit play. Now this is the home screen, and you can see we have we have a voter or observer panel, because part of the stakeholders in an electoral process involves people who are the observers and everything, to be able to ensure transparency.
Okay, so for the purposes of this voter electoral panel is the observers that you would find at a polling station, for example.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. All they do, the observers, is observe. So they don't have any control into the system. They cannot alter anything in the system. Theirs is just to observe.
They basically have no admin rights.
They don't have thank you. They don't have admin rights. So as you can see, these are some of the features in the system. So you can see those are the candidates on the screen. We have the president, the governor, all positions are there. Now there's a tab here on the current screen. You can see there's check voter status. It means on your device, the one you'll be using at home or at the polling station. The beauty of this system is that though we're making it available on devices, it is also accessible at home.
So I can vote from home?
Yes, and you can also vote at the polling station, because not everybody has a device. So that doesn't mean they don't vote this way. They can come to the polling station.
It's a simple question, even as you go towards that. Then how would the system indicate that I voted from home and someone voted at the polling station?
Well, you see, what happens while voting is this. Each device registers as though it's a polling station, right? So what happens is, once you vote at home, whether you vote at home or at the polling station, the effect is the same. The transaction reads the same. It's like you send money here or you send money in the bank. It's still the same transaction. And also, once you vote, the system bans your identity. It means you cannot reaccess the system again to vote again.
Okay.
I think you need to repeat that point.
Yeah, it's very important, actually.
Repeat that point.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's called, in blockchain infrastructure, you can mint and ban. So at the point of registration of a voter, we mint a cryptographic token that is your identity. All right?
Like now, your fingerprint in the system?
Yes.
All right.
And it has
we like to use those words because we're not as sharp as you. So you might need to dumb it down a little bit for us. So
fingerprints.
That we can, okay.
That is your
ID. Fingerprint is your ID change in the system.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what happens, once you mint it, it has an expiry date. It means not that it will expire. It only expires after use. That's why it's only usable once. So the system registers that I have voted, and so it destroys that token.
It's like a burner phone. I use it once and then it's gone.
And then it's gone. It's no longer valid on the system after voting. However, its effect, which is the vote, remains. Now that's the proof that you voted.
Okay.
Now we are talking about let me just maybe clarify.
Yeah.
It's a decentralized system. Unlike a centralized system, if I wanted to hack this building, I just find the central servers and I can access every database here. But with blockchain, it means the transactions are linked, the way he was saying, the loops, right? They are linked to each other. So it means if in blockchain, there is what is called computing power. You cannot just enter a system and manipulate it. You need to have approximately 51% of power that is required to maintain that system first.
Explain power.
So computing power is this.
Okay.
Let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the oldest and the most popular blockchain network, and also the mother of the Bitcoin cryptocurrency.
Right.
So this is how Bitcoin works. For you to earn a Bitcoin, you can either buy it or own a server that maintains the network. And by you maintaining the network, meaning you're like a database. Transactions are stored with you. So there is a database you personally you keep, and as a reward of your participation in that, the system rewards you Bitcoin.
Coins.
Okay. Right? Now, there is the power you generate to keep it. All right? Actually, globally, Bitcoin, the network per year, uses more power than New Zealand as a country.
Oh, okay.
Get that picture? So you can see it is highly intensive in terms of power consumption because of the number of people who own Bitcoin servers or they're Bitcoin miners. There are many, right? Now, those are the different servers of Bitcoin. You see, they're decentralized. So I have a certain capacity, and that's what I maintain on the network. It's what I supply on the network.
Okay.
That's my computing power. So for you to be able to manipulate this entire ecosystem, you need to generate 51% of everybody's power. That's impossible.
Okay.
Globally.
You get.
So the power we're talking about is different individuals,
Yes.
with different servers
Yes.
in the
Yes.
entire ecosystem.
Yes.
So for you to have controlling power, you need to have 52% of everyone's power. Okay.
So, in fact, if you do research, you'll find even in Dubai, they have very big, they are called mining farms. Even
Right.
in Kenya, they are there. And you find people are finding ways to cool the systems because they consume a lot of power to mine Bitcoin. This process of mining is, once a transaction happens, what happens is this. Bitcoin gives you a very complex mathematical problem to solve. Now, that's what generates a lot of power. Because your computer has to have what it takes to compute, to do that calculation, and once you're able to solve it, now you can confirm that transaction, and that's what creates a block. So you see how blocks are created. It is out of solving a complex problem to confirm a transaction. That's your reward.
Okay.
Now, the power it takes to solve that mathematical problem is now the computing power I'm talking about.
Okay.
So in case you're even able to produce 51% of that power and hack, if it is possible, it is possible to trace it back to you.
Okay.
Because identities on blockchain systems are not anonymous. Anonymous means you can do anything and nobody will know it was you. What they are is they are pseudonymous. A pseudonym is simply like a nickname,
Yes.
right? So though you're not using your formal name on blockchain, the name you use can be linked to your actual identity. Yes.
So because of the fact that you had to generate so much power in order to perform a particular function,
Yes.
we're going to know it's you.
Yes.
Or we'll find you at some
Yeah.
point.
In
All
fact,
right.
It individualizes you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, you'll be generating a very huge heat signature. We will just find you. We know so much power is going somewhere. It's
Yeah.
suspicious. So
Yeah.
we'll just find you
All right.
through that footprint. So now this system is now an application of that whole framework, which was primarily built for financial purposes. But now we repurpose it to do a voting system because financial transactions, we can now make them votes, right? So, and secure them with the system. So this system has two dashboards. It's the dashboard for the admin and the observers, and the dashboard that the voter has. Whether you're at home or at the polling station, it's the same. So you can see in the video, on the current tab, you can see you can check your voting status, you can view all the candidates who are in the system. So that's how it just flows. So this video is a demonstration video, and because of how the system works, we couldn't manage to set up a voting session for this morning because of some technicalities. But the system is live. We could have a little bit was needed, but we still have this demo here. You can see.
Yeah.
You can view your votes. One of the merits of this system is that after voting, you don't have a spoiled vote. It is impossible to have a spoiled vote.
Very important point.
What it means to have a spoiled vote is that person's vote, they just wasted their time. They went to the polling station at 3 a.m., and you see, we only told of spoiled votes, but we are not told whose vote got spoiled.
Yes.
So, what would it take to ensure that on this system, as you vote, that you've actually voted and your vote is authentic? You voted for, whomever to be senator of Nairobi, and that is clear that it happened. So, what precludes a spoiled vote then from occurring?
Because of the user interface, the way you see, there's how in M-Pesa you make sure you don't send money to the wrong account.
But we still do.
But you still do. But this system prompts you. It makes you confirm, are you actually voting for this person?
Just like the way M-Pesa would.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But you see, it's difficult to miss yes or no. It's difficult. So that's part of the UI, UX of the platform. The user interface, user experience of the system. So to make sure, it is very difficult to have a spoiled vote. It is very difficult. So that, again, increases the credibility of the result at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it user-friendly across board? Because that's one of the issues, that somebody who needs to be assisted, sight-assisted, hearing assisted, all of these things assisted.
Yes.
Is it user-friendly in that manner, even because of age and things like that?
Yes.
And then, even as you do that, so the interface, is it user-friendly?
It is user-friendly, and it is also has a multilingual feature. Meaning it's not just available in English, it can be available in Kiswahili, in vernacular, for people who need that. It also has voice assistance. At IEBC, when we were doing this with them, we have a proprietary AI, artificial intelligence, that is capable of receiving commands and helping you interact.
Can we show you practically?
Yes.
Okay, please tell one of my guys to ask Kibaki to bring it here. We will show you a system that he's talking about, because that's very important in terms of how do we educate the public, either young or old people. Let's even assume you're not able to read.
Yes.
We built an AI system that you can literally talk your language. They say, hello, I would like to vote for so-and-so. In any language. They say, this person, yes. It continues.
Especially even the old people.
Whether you are 90 years, we have made a system and that's why I'm saying, I don't even know why the IBC will ignore such a thing. But you wait and listen. We made the whole system, it's here, and it took us a lot.
And this,
to compile this whole thing.
I'm still on that when you're talking to the system, because somebody else I can be in front of the thing saying that I want to vote for Dennis Aseto, and there's somebody else there, and Jerry is there, and she says no, he really wants to vote. How is it going to know that it's me? I'm telling you, all the situations through which something can be.
No. You are very right. Yeah? You are very right. Let me ask you a question. Let me some of the things. Please come on this side. And we want to just listen to her. So this is the thing. Let me ask you a question. You have the PIN for your M-Pesa, right?
Yes.
Is there a risk of someone else knowing your PIN?
Yes.
So the question I would like to ask you, some of the things we do, we need to separate people's participation from the reality of the matter. The same way you take care of your M-Pesa PIN.
Yes.
Same way you take care of your... There has to be a level of taking care that is personal to you. Yes. Right? So, for example, you know very well you are going to vote. You want to vote for so-and-so and you want to speak to this particular person. In that assumption, and you are there, it's as simple as I would like, not we would. So you already know it's not a corporate issue. So some of the questions, even before we answer, the whole reality lays within that particular... You as a particular person, you need to take your own responsibility that we cannot actually be able to help you. We'd like to show you this system so that you can really hear us speaking to this person. Please be continuing for a minute as we do. Are we ready? Okay, let's call. Make the call. Thank you so much. Again, we apologize. Maybe we are not very professional. Please bear with us.
We're trying to fight for the nation.
Hi there. I'm Omwami Wefwe from Azizi, Africa. I help you describe your business story so we can later pitch it Fantastic, Kibaki. Let's dive in.
Good morning. How are you, Baggins?
Good morning, Kibaki. Niko sawa kabisa. Asante kwa kuuliza. Na wewe je?
I am doing well. Now, I wanted to find out, Baggins, what is the advantage of using blockchain as opposed to paper in terms of voting? Can you tell us?
Absolutely, Kibaki. Let me break it down simply. Blockchain in voting has some key advantages over paper. First, transparency. Every vote can be recorded on a secure, unchangeable digital ledger, making the process very tamper-proof. Second, security. Blockchain reduces risks of fraud or manipulation because once a vote is recorded...
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have time. Switch to Kiswahili. Habari yako?
Salama kabisa, Kibaki.
Sasa nilikuwa nataka kujua kama mimi ni mtu mzee sana na niko mahali ushago na nataka kuvote. Unaweza nisaidia kuvote?
Hilo jambo la kupiga kura kisheria nalo lina utaratibu wake rasmi. Na kwa sasa siwezi kusaidia moja kwa moja kwenye mchakato huo. Lakini naweza kukuelekeza kuhusu faida za mifumo ya kidijitali kama blockchain katika kupiga kura. Pia unaweza kuwasiliana na maafisa wa tume ya uchaguzi au viongozi wa eneo lako.
Okay, kwa sababu sina time baggings. Haya, hebu utaeleza nini wa Kenya kuhusu uchaguzi ambao unakuja? Unawaeleza wafanyaje?
Sawa Kibaki. Wacha nieleze kwa ufupi. Uchaguzi unaokuja ni muhimu sana kwa Wakenya. Kwenye mfumo wa kisasa kama blockchain, kura zinahesabiwa kwa uwazi na hakuna nafasi ya udanganyifu. Wakenya wanapaswa...
This is a system you have built. It's literally talking to you. So whether you are 100 years, whether you are 90 years, you can speak any language to this system.
Yeah.
And you can tell this system, I want to vote for so and so. And the system helps you to vote. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a genuine question. You imagine what it has taken for us to build these particular platforms. This is already, even before we are going to meet the IEBC, we knew what we are presenting to them. If they can give us an opportunity, and especially the members of parliament, because we are already done, the IEBC does not have, they can't do much in that view. The whole matter has to be brought to the, to the House and for them to be able to pass it as a law. And as I've told you, Article 81 and Article 83 of the Constitution, they already have these things. I think even next time when we come, because I'm assuming we'll be having a bigger screen, we'll now bring the whole practicality of what you are saying here so that you see how simple it is. And number two, by the way, you can literally use your phone, we forgot to say that, to vote. You don't need to go to a voting station. Just like you can use your phone to send money now. I mean, whether it's internet, M-Pesa, you can use literally your phone here.
John, do you know why everyone is paying you 200 million shillings to get rid of this system? Because as we saw during the by-election, 600 million was spent. And it was spent on what? Voter bribery.
Voter bribery.
But this system clearly is telling Kenyans, stay at home and vote for that person. You don't need to sell your ID because your ID is in the system.
Exactly.
And perhaps this is the bigger conversation that Kenyans should be having in terms of, as we keep on clamoring and asking for credible, free, fair and just election, solution is here. It is cheaper, it is affordable, and available
secure
for everyone. You don't have to struggle to pay fare to go vote. You don't have to stand outside the sun or rain for you to vote.
Like you can imagine because I'm assuming you're working, and media does a lot of work.
Yeah.
In fact, I really sympathize with you. The amount of work media does to cover these things. Can you imagine now, you no longer need to go anywhere,
all over the place.
Like you are just here, you are voting and you're talking to your people. You don't need, you can imagine every single thing is catered for. Of course, we are not God. We might not have like 100% of answers. But what we are saying is this. Look at the advantages of what we are putting on the table and what currently is. Where is the advantage? Even you as you yourself, as you are listening, where does the advantage lean?
Sure.
2,000 to 36 shilling. Security of the voter. Transparency. Voter turnout. Right? Comfort within your homes. I mean, if you look at it and compare to paper voting, honestly speaking, what would you be doing rejecting such a program?
Sure. And we are going to do this, John. We will do a bigger look into this in a couple of days in the coming week, because it's necessary that we do. We can look into the merits and the demerits of all of this and ask ourselves the questions as to why this is not being used. But one of the questions that we know will be asked to you in a couple of days is, how did you build this? Who provided the means through which you're able to build this system?
Okay.
Because it will come into play. And then beyond, is there a bottom line? People are going to ask, so what's in it for you? Why would you want to do this? We need to get that out of the way.
Okay. Let me answer first and then I give him to answer. I want all Kenyans to know this. I want you to focus on the keywords we are using, and especially people online. Focus on the keywords we are using. There is a very important word I'm repeating. Decentralized. Mm-hmm. It's a very key word. I'll need to explain something to you. The advantage of this system is that assuming we have begun the idea, everything has a beginner. Nothing just begins by itself, right? The advantage of this system, I'm going to speak about it from a layman's point of view, then allow my brother to address it, is that assuming you are outside there and you are into the IT department, you are in Embu, you are in Meru, you are in Rift Valley, you are in Garissa, Western, think about wherever you are, and you want to participate in building this network. It is built on a decentralized platform. What does that mean? All of us are coming to participate. Like, you can literally look at what the codings are, what it took to build this system. Let's agree. Everyone, it's an open source system, right? So all of us literally can come and look at this open source system. You want to add a value on this open source system, you can literally put it here. The value add of this, my open source system is, there is this thing that this thing needs to have. We can put it here. Right. Someone is in Central. There is this thing you need to have. You can put it here. There is no one person that owns this thing. This thing is owned by all Kenyans because it's an open source decentralized system. I'd like my brother to add something on it.
Well, I think in response to the voter apathy, when a pandemic hit the country, what would it have been to nations to ignore vaccines and remedies to the pandemic? So the remedy to the current issue of voter apathy is simply transparency. And this is what the system offers. Because people are feeling disenfranchised from the very systems that the Constitution actually says that the sovereign power belongs to the people. But it does not pass beyond paper. People are only made to feel important or made to feel like they count, but in essence, they don't really count.
I hear you.
Right? So transparency and visibility is what this system makes someone feel like, if I do this, it actually counts. It's a patriotic act to vote, and it really counts. I can prove I voted. This is my vote, and I actually saw it to the very end. This is what we are trying to instill in the people. Make them feel like their participation counts for something. It's not just something like leads to bloodshed. I would hate to see what happened in Tanzania happening here, despite us having a solution that was ignored.
All right. Like we've said, in the next couple of days, one of the things that we must never be afraid to do is to populate society with an idea that at the very least has shown its mettle. So that's why in another couple of days you will be back here, and we want to thank you in advance already for coming, because there's a lot more to explain, there's a lot more to experience for people to understand what it really means. Most people will shun an idea not because of anything else, but because they don't understand it, and they're not familiar with it. And then, of course, we want to go into the more of why those who reject it, because obviously it might be the answer to the issues that have been plaguing the electoral systems of the world, for a very long period of time. So we look forward to the next one. It'll happen in a couple of days, but let's look through this thing properly, and then also continue to ask the questions as to why are people not accepting it, and the reasons as to why we ought to. John T.W., governance expert, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank
you. And remind me your name, sir.
My name is Jesse Mureithi.
Jesse Mureithi, thank you for being here. We look forward to the next one in a few days for us to be open this up a little bit. Asante Sana.
Thank you.
It's 9:01. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only